What's up, YouTube? It's your girl Nene, and I'm back with another video. Welcome if you're new to the palace, and thank you for coming back to the palace if you're not new. Did you pray today? If you didn't pray, let's say a little prayer. Lord, I thank you for this day. Thank you for guiding me. Thank you for the what I have. It works. My hands, my feet, my brain, my mouth, my ears, my eyes. Something simple. God appreciates all prayers. Now, today's story time, we're going to get into my second birth. It's a little sensitive, just a little, just a little. I'm healed from it. um, so, in July of 2012, um, I had a coworker over. Mind you, we strictly nothing has ever happened, just being cool. Um, Mind you, I've known him probably since maybe January, February, because I started in January. So, invited him over. Um, Mind you, their dad was in Florida, and he supposedly was married. I didn't believe him, and he ended up coming back in July. But before he came back, um, I'm gonna say, well, the coworker came in July to my house. We chatting. I'm cooking. My daughter's, I think, with her aunt, and somewhere, somehow, like we were sitting on the couch, and then I ended up on the floor. How? I don't know. Wasn't drinking. Wasn't smoking. I'm not sure. I think I was sitting on the floor. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But he ended up holding me down. He I told him to stop. He didn't stop. I kicked him out. Well, there was no need to kick him out, but made him get out at the end of the day. Um, so time goes by. Well, that day, um, I think I took a shower and I just laid down and I cried. And then after that, their dad texted me, and I couldn't really say what happened at the time. Like, I said it that day, but I didn't. It took me a minute to say it. And so he called. He's like, "Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong?" He was like, "Tell me what's wrong." And I told him what was wrong, and then clearly, to him, I was taking too long, so it didn't happen. Um, so He ended up one day coming back later in July, and um, yeah, the whole time I had to hear it thrown back in my face. Oh, that's his baby. Okay, so what I did was I got a pregnancy test and I took it. I don't know what made me take it. I'm gonna say the Holy Spirit was like, "You need to take one." So I took one. Mind you, their dad was there. Again, this is 2012, and I put it on the sink. So when he got up, he would see it. Not that I thought he would be excited or anything or whatever, but let's see. So I ended up um, laying back down. He ended up getting up. He ended up going. in the bathroom, and he brought it back in there like, what is this? And I'm just like, what does it look like? Duh. So he started laughing at like, I guess laughing at the results or whatever. So I said, what's funny? He was like, you doing this? And I was just like, I mean, I felt like, he's like, what did you take it for? Just wanted to take it, and then here we are. So, um, after that, it kept being thrown in my face, thrown in my face, thrown in my face. You, you, that's another nigga baby. That ain't my baby. That's inmate number, blah blah, and just saying different numbers every time he said it. So, um, at this point, it was like getting to me. So he ended up, um, he just felt like it was the coworker's baby, or our baby. And if you know what that means, you know what that means. If you don't, sorry. I'll put it in the description. But it's pretty much RB baby. Anyway, I mean an RB. Anyway, so after that, time goes by. This is like days and days later. Um, it was like getting to me to the point where I like, he was like, yeah, you just out here being a thought and da 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 da. So I'm like, alright, whatever. So I went to Virginia in 2012, and nobody knew I was pregnant. And I wasn't gonna tell anybody. And mind you, with the first one, I really hit her in a way where I was like wearing big clothes. Um, was ashamed to go to church like that, because yeah, I know back then they used to judge a lot, so that's where we were. Um, so went to Virginia, didn't tell nobody. I ended up getting sick one morning. Like, my dad's girlfriend at the time, which is my little brother's mom, she ended up noticing like you know, the sickness. So she's like, "Oh, we're gonna take you to the hospital." Blah blah blah. So we get to the ER, and then next thing you know, they're like, "Yeah, you're pregnant." Or well, I knew that, but she was like, "You're gonna have to tell your dad, right?" And I was just that was another story. Anywho, I was like, so when he came back in the room, she left, and my dad came in, and I told him, I was like, "Yeah, I'm having another." I said my daughter's name and my oldest, and I was just like, "Yeah." And then he gave me a small speech this time. So he ends up going to. We end up going to the house. Um, mind you, they did clearly they didn't know. Nobody knew. So their dad is like, "Oh, you didn't tell your people because you know that's not my baby," and da 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 da, and blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, so mind you, this is the manipulative part that just was getting to me. Um, I was like, Lord, if this is not his baby, get rid of it. Granted, that's not a prayer you should pray because, yeah. Um, but I said that clearly it was his baby. But to me, And that's the thing to me. And I was telling him like, oh, you're the dad or whatever. Um, and I was telling him I didn't tell my family because I was ashamed of myself. Um, I wasn't in school. Mind you, I did go to school, but I had to drop out because of their dad not coming on time. Anyway, I wasn't in school. I wasn't working. I wasn't where I wanted to be in life. So it's just like another child already. And you just. So I ended up, mind you, after I found out I was pregnant, I went to go to Kuwait and I got a dozen um, rolls, butter rolls. I didn't eat them all. I did share, but I did eat majority of them. Anywho, um, so eventually I left Virginia because it wasn't really a live there situation. It was I'll be there for a little bit. So I go back to Mississippi. Clearly, lost my apartment because I wasn't there or whatever, and I was supposed to tell because it was like a government low income. So they gave my apartment away. They threw everything away. Um, Mind you, before I left Mississippi, I ended up getting into it with their dad, and I'm not sure. I think he broke my window. He took my memory card with all pictures or whatever, and yeah, I think I punched him in the face too through the window, and then I left. So I get back to Mississippi, and I'm still hearing the same old thing, same old thing. That's not my baby. Inmate number, blah 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 blah. That's the RB. Now, as time is going by, again, I'm still having these thoughts because it's just like I know who the dad is, but he made was just in my head a lot. Um, I went to. I ended up having to stay with somebody. Stay with them, and my oldest daughter ended up getting a scratch right on her nose because she slid off the couch, and I guess like the way her nose rubbed on the carpet, it just gave her a scratch. So at this point, I'm unfit because she has a scratch on her nose. And he played the game right. He did what he did. He took my daughter, my oldest daughter, well, clearly because I'm pregnant, but I think I was like 5 months. And he took my oldest daughter, and I had to walk like 2.5 miles to try to get her back. I'm trying to get her back. He wouldn't give her back. Um, so from December 17th to March, like maybe 28th, like the day I got out of the hospital, I think he brought her back later that day. Anyway, um, so, and mind you, I already did a video on that, a story time on that. So he ends up, so I end up having her in March. And mind you, the whole time, oh, we gotta get a DNA. Oh, we gotta do that. And da da da. I'm just like, alright, whatever. So, had her then at one point he wanted, like, because I was never into the child support thing, but then when I realized he wasn't really helping for real, like, at one point it seemed as though he was helping because he was like present but not present. So um, he went. He wanted to get a DNA test, but this was after I started the process of the child support. And in order for him to get off child support, he had to he had to take a DNA test. And we took that DNA test. They told him, "Oh, you know, you're gonna get it first because he had to send to his mom's house, and then I would get the test." So time goes by. His mom apparently checks the mail, and she ends up getting the test. So he's sitting in my house on my bed, and I'm sitting there, and we're just chatting or whatever. I don't know. I think he called another inmate number at that time, and oh, she should have been my boy. Oh, she should have been my boy. Well, she's what God made her. All right. So his mom calls. I could kind of hear her, and she was like, "Yeah, you got the test back, blah blah blah, or got the results." And um, he was like, "Oh, so what does it say?" And she says, "She's yours or whatever." Mind you, I hear her. I didn't say anything. So he gets off the phone and he says, now you can change. No, what she he said the results came back. I said, "Oh, what did it say?" Now, mind you, I know it's just all the negativity he was feeding me and all the doubting he was feeding me made me not believe, but made me had doubt. Um, but he ended up coming, or he, bro, I'm tripping. He ended up telling me. I was like, "So what did it say?" He's like, "She's mine." I knew that. Now you can change her last name to mine. You can spend the money to change her last name to yours, but I'm not. But ever since the day he took my oldest, I never trusted him with my kids at all. Our kids. So um, anytime he wanted to take the kids, I always had doubt. Like he might take, cause he always, you a sorry ass baby mama. You da 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 da. You don't do this. You don't do that. But what do you really do? I do for mine. I do for mine. I'm just like, bro. So anyway, um, after that, it was good though. I guess it's, that paper said when I got it, it said 99.99999% yours. Anyway, so another piece to that is like at a point when he was taking the kids, I knew I was good because one, you just found out you're the daddy. Oh, when I did have her, he ended up coming. He had to drive me in my car to the hospital to um, to have her or whatever. Now, when I did have her, he came and took pictures that morning because I think I had her that morning. So he took pictures and was like, it was like, why would you like he took them and left. I guess so he can go around showing his family like, oh, you should look like me, da, da. And the screws are loose in over there, okay? Because there was a particular person that was like, oh, um, she would always doubt who like if the kid would belong to somebody anyway, or the fact that how ancestor like how generations work, how the genes work. Didn't know that, so it's just like the kid is not gonna always look like whoever. Like it just depends how strong each gene is. Anyway, so um, so yeah, that was really it. Because at the end of the day, I really like in my heart I knew, but mentally it was draining to hear all the time. That's not my baby. You didn't tell your people because blah blah blah. So again, when you have a kid, make sure it's with the right one. Don't do counterfeits. Pray for your spouse. Pray for your whoever it may be, because you don't want to be mentally drained, stuck, and feeling dumb. Um, yeah, I think that's about it. But I know for sure I knew I was good, because anytime you decide you want to snatch my kids up again, best believe Amber Alert is coming across to your phone, because you're not on a birth certificate, bro. You didn't stay to sign. You didn't want to be on it. So I'm not going to change your last name, and I'm not putting you on it. People were like, no, don't let him. He might take them again, or because he took the first one, but he might take them and blah 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 blah. I'm like, I'm not worried about that, because at the end of the day, it would be kidnapping. So let's get that. And we never did it again. That's about it. That was a tough pregnancy. Oh, she crawled out. The nurse really delivered her, not the doctor. The doctor was taking care of someone else at the time. And in my first one, um, oh man, the way it for sure different. The first one was more painful because of it was the first one, didn't know what to expect. But the second one, I had Braxton Hicks contractions. I don't remember my cravings, honestly. Um, and that's it. Yeah, that's it. But either way it go, pray, pray, pray. Thank you for tuning in for this story time. It's a little tough because some things I did, it's like I don't want to remember, but I guess me saying it out loud can help me not remember. Maybe, I don't know. Anyway, stay tuned for more in the palace. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to pray and have a blessed day.